if you are anything like me, that means you absolutely adore, love, need, I don't know about need, but you need coffee. And that also might mean you love to have a nice, sweet, delicious pastry that goes perfectly with a cup of coffee. And for me, that perfect thing is a coffee cake. It's a match made in heaven. Let's get straight into it. Now let's go! All right, so sorry if you don't like what I'm about to say, but the whole cup system in America for baking sucks. It's just not accurate. And if you look at all the best baking, dessert, pastry books in the world, they're all gonna be in the gram system. So I would really encourage you to get one of these, right? It's just a digital scale. They're not very expensive. And if I can find a link to this one, I will put it down in the description. And I'll also put one that's a little cheaper if you don't care for this nice aesthetic look, but I think it looks really cool. I think that's bamboo. If you're someone who lives in America and you're really into baking, this recipe is from the Bouchon Bakery cookbook. Everything's in grams. It's one of the best baking books you can possibly buy. So definitely invest in one of these. Okay, we're starting with the almond streusel topping. Almond topping streusel. Well, my friends, today is a historic day because we have our first ever sponsor, and it's a cool one, Trade Coffee. Trade Coffee allows you to never get stuck in that which kind of coffee should I buy again rut. Trade connects you with the coffee from the nation's best roasters and delivers them right to your door. And Trade Coffee makes the whole process super fun because step one is to take a quiz in which you answer questions about how you like your coffee, and Trade will curate matches just for you. Step two is to choose your delivery frequency, and it'll magically appear at your doorstep at peak freshness. Here are some of the coffees I chose. I've been using the espresso blend in my coffee machine over there, and oh my god, it's a good blend. Step three is you're gonna rate the coffee that they send you, and then Trade will use that information to send you more coffee that you love. They also use compostable packaging to send all their coffee in, which I really like. The coffee is also roasted and shipped within 24 hours of ordering. Trade also guarantees you'll love your first coffee, but if you don't, they will ship you out a new bag for free. And I've got an offer for the first 100 people that click the link down in my description. You will get 50% off your first bag when you sign up. Just take the quiz, click the link in my description box, and use code ThatDude50 at checkout, and free shipping is also included. All right, now back to the video. So starting with 60 grams all-purpose flour, 60 grams almond flour. Almond flour is the way forward with baking, trust me. 60 grams of sugar. This is just white granulated sugar. Now, and 60 grams of cold unsalted butter that's just been cut into little cubes. Now add the butter to the mix with just a little pinch of salt. And now what we do, just using our fingertips, is mix this. It does help if your hands are cold too. You can run them under cold water, which is what I did. And we're just gonna keep mixing until we get a texture like this. So it'll break apart easily, but at the same time it will clump together easily like this. Now I'm just gonna cover this. And so I think in the Bouchon Bakery cookbook, it says to leave this in your fridge for 2 hours. But in order to expedite the process, I'm just gonna put it in the freezer for about half an hour and it'll be good to go. Oh, Okay, now using a stand mixer, you can definitely get away with a hand mixer if you don't have one of these. Unsalted room temp butter, just cut into cubes, fit that with the paddle, and begin to cream. One of the best tricks I've learned when it comes to stand mixers is to use a torch to get the butter to come off the sides. So I'll just do like this, and that'll all fall down in. Okay. Now, once we've got a mayonnaise-like consistency, we'll add in our sugar, medium speed. Now, after about 3 minutes, when that's nice and fluffy, we'll add in our beaten egg. Of course, this recipe is always gonna be in the description, my friends. And vanilla extract paste or beans. Now, with the egg, about 15 seconds and shut it off. You don't wanna over-whip it with the eggs. Now, to all-purpose flour, we're gonna add baking powder and baking soda, and just a good little pinch of salt, and just give that a good mix. Now, we're gonna alternate as we work in creme fraiche and that flour mixture, third by third. You'll see, let's go. So low speed, add 1/3 of your flour and 1/3 of the creme fraiche. Allow about 15 seconds for that to mix in. And then again, another third of the flour, another third of the creme fraiche. I would once too scrape down the side of this bowl, make sure everything's mixed in. And the final third of your flour and creme fraiche. By the way, if you don't have creme fraiche, you can definitely get away with using sour cream because I know not everybody can find it. And once that's just mixed in, shut it down. Batter done. Now I'm fresh out of piping bags. So here's what I'm gonna do. Big Ziploc, gonna put it in this pitcher right here and fold the edges around like so. And I'll just drop my batter in there. That way when we need to use this, we'll just cut a corner off this Ziploc bag and it'll work fine. Not as good as a piping bag, but good enough. This is home cooking. It's all good. Okay, seal this up really nice. Try to get as much air out as you can. And so now last thing to do is put this in the fridge for 30 minutes and then we're ready to assemble and bake. They're my favorite. You're gonna love the coffee cakes. They're my favorite thing in the world. Okay, let's get baking. So I like to do mine about this size, pretty big. You know, you could bake this coffee cake into any shape you want, but I think these look really pro. Now I'm just gonna spray them with a little avocado oil so they don't stick. Just a very light coating. Now we're gonna take some of our chilled dough here and bring it up about 1/3 of the way. I'm just gonna even it out a little bit because I didn't have that piping bag. Now this is just a 50-50 blend of brown sugar and cocoa powder. Recipe will be in the comments. And we'll take about 1.5 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons, and just dust it on. Then one more layer of batter, just like that. And finally some of that beautiful almond streusel. Just crumble it on top. This, nice even layer on top. About 1.5 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons. And repeat with the rest. Okay, that's all done. These are just the best things ever. When they come out of the oven, we're gonna dust them again with cinnamon, cocoa powder, and sugar. Baking at 325 degrees convection. Convection means fan on. That's the hot and fast method for these. And that should take about 25-30 minutes or until you put a toothpick dead in the middle, pull it out, and it comes out clean. Unlike your mind. Okay, about 28 minutes for me and they're done. These ones got a little bit big. Thin little skewer here. Stick it in, it's actually a thermometer. Coming out clean, so we're good. If you could smell these right now, you would lose your mind. Now the last thing we need to do, we dust with cocoa powder, cinnamon, and sugar. Woohoo! Just like that. These are, I just can't wait. And also let these cool for at least half an hour before you try them. You've done all this work, you might as well do it right. All right, now let's brew up some of this amazing trade coffee. Right, so I've got a bunch of coffee here. When I filled out the quiz, I chose whole beans because that's just how I roll. But today, I'm gonna choose this espresso blend out of Austin, Texas. It says rich and chocolatey, which should be perfect with the coffee cakes to complement that cocoa powder. I always like to smell first. Ooh, it smells good. All right, let's go for it. Gotta make sure you get that good pack. Looking good. You know, I've been really enjoying honey as the sweetener for my coffee recently, so I'm gonna do a little bit of that. And I like it iced, so I'm gonna pour this over ice with a little water. I just got my coffee with a little local milk. How cool does that look? Woo. Now only one thing left to do is eat it. Promise you make this once, you'll be making it forever. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh. Dude, this with the coffee is insanely well matched. It's just so good. It's just so good. The batter is so moist. You have that rich chocolatey brown sugar in the middle, crunchy almond streusel on top, and a little bit of cinnamon. Oh my God. Okay, this is gonna be tough. Watch out, Ollie, watch out. Out. Ollie. Ollie, out. No. Go on. Ollie, come on. Come on. Ollie, come here. Shit, it's gonna be really tough. Ollie! It's close. First try. Definitely make these, and until next time, my friends, you know, I love you. And I'm out!